This is my £1,000 Civic that I've brought. And I'm going to be spending £20,000 in this Civic. It's rough, it's slow, but not for long. It's missing one thing, the engine. Firstly, I need to get myself a K20A2 engine from a toy park. Arthur, what do you think? Should we get one? Yeah, let's go. So I guess it's time to get to work. Let's jump in. I've gone and bought a cheap EP3 Type R from Copart purely to steal the engine out of it, and we're going to drop it straight into this. And while we're at it, we're going to spend £20,000 turbocharging it. Might be a good idea, it might be a terrible one, we're about to find out. I've wanted to build a turbo EK since I was 16. Today's the day, so let's step in. What have we just bought, guys? They didn't say that wheel was bent, look at it. Completely bent in. The car doesn't even have an exhaust. I think we got pinched, and that's because I never had car vertical, and I was so lucky that I used it for the EK Civic. From this car I found out it had a couple of previous owners, and most importantly, if you're going to buy a car like this example right here, you will see that this BMW has been in 2 accidents in 2 different years, and it had serious MOT fails, and you can only find out from using car vertical. Now if you use my discount code right here, you'll get 20% off. The link is down in the description. Use that before you buy a car. Well, I just want to get back to the HQ and see what we can do, guys, because we have just brought the cheapest Type R. Let's hope the car starts up. Go! You're probably thinking, why a K20? Simple. It's ultra reliable, high revving, and it loves boost. But instead of buying just the engine alone, I picked up a complete donor car. It comes with the engine, gearbox, ECU, linkages, sensors, and everything in just one go. But we're not stopping there. A stock coupe makes about 160 brake. We're building something with 3 times that power. A shy of 450 horsepower under 1,000 kilos, caged, gutted, boosted. Now that's a proper street sleeper build. Now let's get it in the unit. It's time for that heart transplant. Now I'll be honest, I've never pulled an engine out before. But like everyone else, we start with the basics. Drive shafts out first, and then under the car we drain the fluids, coolant and gearbox oil. Next up we tackle the loom and the mounts. You've got 4 mounts to get the engine out. 3 on the engine side, 1 on the gearbox. There you go. But take your time here, things can get sketchy if you're not careful, like this. But we slowly got the hang of it, just for this moment right here. Touchdown. Mission accomplished. And just like that, it's time to say goodbye to the EP3 Type R. Right, so we've got the K20 out right there, you'll see it's still in the crane. Then get it ready to put into the EK Civic. Before we drop the engine into the EK, the K20 is getting cleaned up. It's already out, so we might as well do it right. I did say we're going all out with this build. First up, we're pulling off the throttle body, then it's onto the intake manifold, because we're upgrading both with oversized throttle bodies and a bigger intake to chase every bit of power we can. Wow, bomb breaking.
Even that just about got it. Dinner time.
I wanted to give the block a proper clean. I've always pictured this engine looking brand new once it's in the engine bay, like it belongs there. It's slow work, and yeah, it's risky too. Some of these old bolts are just waiting to round off, but it's all part of the process. When it's done, it'll be worth it. A clean engine, clean bay, and a monster setup under the hood, all done right. So what we're going to do here is basically get the K20 engine, get the gearbox off. We're going to spray degreaser all over the engine, take all the muck off it, and respray the whole engine to make it silver surfer looking silver to get it back in the Civic. That is light. With the rocker cover and the inlet off, the first thing we're doing is inspecting the top end, checking the cams, lobes and the chain guides. For a 90k engine, you want to know it's looking healthy before throwing boost at it. Luckily, everything looks clean, no scoring, no usual wear, chain tension solid, that's a good sign. Next, we're hitting the cover with a full degrease and clean up. I'm going to respray it too, give it that fresh look. No point dropping in a crusty engine when everything else is stripped and clean. Same goes for the inlet, cleaned inside and out, make sure no grimes getting into the head, and it just looks so much better. It's done, the K20 will be looking brand new and ready to drop into the EK. We're not just going for fast, we're doing it right. I think I quite like it. Honestly, that looks so crazy. I am absolutely stoked with how this job come up. Now we're getting into the exciting part, the boost build. Big single turbo. We're going to be handing out gaps. Oh, gold! We started off with a bit of an experiment, a sidewinder manifold from Temu that cost us $80. I wanted to see if it was actually worth it. Although it was cheap and it come brand new, spoiler alert, it wasn't. That's horrible, man. I got robbed. That is mad. After a ton of hammering, drilling and dodgy fitting, we actually made it work, just about. And to complete the look, I threw on a big gold Max Speeding Rods turbo, because why not? Oh my god.
The logo?
Yeah, get the light through, yeah. Oh my days, look at that.
CMX flow should be good for 4.
Apparently it's good for 600, probably more than that. But since we're going all in with this build, nearly £20,000 deep, it was time to step up. I replaced the water pump with a brand new one. Using the same frame, we put on a new seal, put on a new bolts, installed it back onto the engine block. So then when we run the car, we don't need to change the water pump. So now with all that being together, it's now time to do the major job, putting the gearbox back onto the engine. And before that, we need to install the next mod, which is the stage 4 clutch. We need that so we can handle all that boost increase. We cleaned and polished the flywheel because that is very essential before putting it back onto the engine block. Then we tightened up all the flywheel bolts, swapped out the clutch forks and bearings, and this needs to be done properly because a lot of the times the fork can get stuck and then it just requires you to take the gearbox off and replacing a clutch just because the fork wasn't put on properly. Then we moved on to the flywheel bolts. These have to be torqued down to spec, no shortcuts here. Now we're installing the clutch kit and we're doing it properly. First up, using the clutch alignment tool to make sure everything lines up dead center. Then it's time to tighten the bolts down symmetrically so we don't risk throwing it off balance. So these little jobs matter big time. If you rush this, you can end up with the clutch slipping or even jamming later down the line. Finally, the gearbox. Getting that thing lined up with the engine again is no joke. I was wrestling it on with a jack under the car, full on struggle mode. And big shout out to Shabs for jumping in and helping me out. I've never done a clutch before, so having someone with experience made all the difference. Now comes the big moment, dropping the engine into the EK. It's time to get the engine in the Honda Civic now, let's do this. Thanks to the K-swap mounts, one on the gearbox, one on the back, one on the side. It actually went in easier than it came out from the EP3. That's when I realised the EK's engine bay is bigger than it looks. We've got the engine in finally, got the mounting. There's a mount right here, we've got a mount right in the back. You can see right there. The engine is in, we're going to remove the crane back. Watch how crazy it's going to look. Whoa! A Hornet, that's it, it's a Hornet. It's a Hornet that is, 100%. Safe to say the engine is in. Look at that. Just look at that. Oh man, it looks absolutely crazy. Right, so basically the engine is in. Oh, we close the bonnet. We're gonna call it a day because that thing's gonna get me. Let's go, 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 go. Then we picked up a proper AH and Fab Sidewinder manifold. We just changed the plans. We decided to go all out and do it properly, just in case for the long run durability build. And along with that, we got a Pulsar PT30 17R turbo, which is rated to 650 brake horsepower. I also paired it with a Pulsar 50mm wastegate because I wanted instant power. I didn't want to go with the 1000 brake horsepower turbo that lags for days. This setup is about sharp response and usable power. With the engine in, it was time to tackle airflow. Now let's talk about airflow, because better airflow means more power. Here's the new intercooler setup we're running. We went with a large alloy twin pass intercooler with 3-inch inlets and outlets. Don't say that.
This is wrong.
Huh?
That's wrong.
Don't say that. I already know you're messing with me, bro.
You know how this is going to make everything fit? Look, where the part's going to go?
You don't have to, I'm afraid.
Why do you go for the biggest one we could find?
You said more power in it.
I didn't say go bigger than the car.
Sorted.
That's not sorry.
This thing is built to handle serious boost and won't become a restriction as we push for more BHP. And here it is. I think this cost 140 quid just in the pipe. Fitment wise, it wasn't too bad, but the one thing I didn't love, the finish. Being silver, it just screams, this is boosted. And for this build, I want to keep it sleeper style, so we had it sprayed black to blend into the bumper and keep this thing low key. Now if you're new to turbo builds, here's why the intercooler matters. A turbo compresses air, which heats up, but hot air is less dense. The intercooler cools that air back down before it goes into the engine, so you're getting cooler, denser air, and that means more oxygen, more fuel and more power. It's basically free BHP as long as the system is flowing properly, and also ends with better performance and reliability, which is the aim of the game of this build. Now we're going to install all the wiring harness, the K20 harness from the red EP3 topper that we took off. The K20 harness is mainly for the engine that's going to connect to the ECU, and the one that's this, that came with it, I don't think we need this, because when the wiring harness goes in, connected all to the engine, it's going to come through the scuttle right there, and then if we got an ECU, we'll just plug right in along with the rest of these. I think we're almost there. Right now, we're just going to plug in K20 harness all on the engine and hopefully it'll work. Of course, it's a lot easier said than done. I just hope the car will start. And so today, we have brought a tile dump valve. So this needs to be installed onto the intercooler pipework, which is right here. Right there. Tile wastegate's all installed. I haven't tightened it yet, just to show that we get the breather pipe in here. We can change it around to where we really want it, left or right. We're also deciding whether to get an exhaust that goes out the bonnet from the turbo, or we're going to basically go down. I'm taking out the OEM inlet. So the reason why we took that off is basically we've got a fuel rail that will connect to the new inlet manifold. So this is the FMIC Pro series, so we're going to use that to do the job, because it will need a 74mm throttle body, and we've got vacuum hoses here. So it's not made in the UK and it doesn't fit directly. It actually took hours to get it on, and I had to shave part of the water pump just to make it fit. That's what makes this build unique. I've never seen another EK with this setup. Bang!
Now you can actually get to what's underneath as well. There's a previous one, but locked off the stuff.
There you go, man. It was worth it. It was worth it in the end.
That one there is.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's nice.
Yeah, that looks a lot better, you know. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Makes me way better that does. Now, possibly the most difficult job of the whole build is out the way. Now, I'll be real with you, this is all new to me. I've never built a turbo car before. This engine was made for NA, so I'm learning as I go. But that's what makes it exciting. So it's time to move on to the next one.
Welcome to cars.
The AN10 fitting for the Sump. And for anyone who doesn't know, including me before I started, the secret ingredient to making a turbo work properly is oil. Factory turbo cars are built with oil feed and return lines in mind. It's all integrated, and that's why I'm under the car right now. The sump needs to come off, and that's 14 bolts. All the bolts are off now. Get the sealant off. The sump should drop down now. We finally got the sump off. Look at the condition of it. It's looking pretty good, I'd like to say. There's Yamada. The chain is in really good condition. So we're going to take that to the garage It's quite heavy, to be honest. I thought something would be quite light, but it's quite heavy.
What's that then, yeah?
So far, we pulled the tyre apart into now, cleaned it up, dropped it into the EK, installed the turbo kit, fitted the sump with the AN10 return, bolted the clutch and flywheel, got the gearbox back in, and sorted the intercooler setup. It's been mad, but we're nearly there. Next up is getting that car started. So I'll see you guys next video. Any recommendations, drop a comment down below. If you want to support the channel and support more of these builds, go to hoodstick.com right here and down in the description. Buy some merch. I'll send it out to you guys. Be a part of the Brother Stiggs crew. And if you're new to the channel, hit that bell notification because we attempt to actually start the car for the first time. So don't miss out on the next video. What just happened, guys? May the Almighty bless each and everybody. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.